Welcome back to the Strength and Speed Podcast. I am your host, Strength and Speed owner and Conquer the Gauntlet Pro, Evan Preparis. I got a guest with me on the line. Before we get to him, though, a quick word from this episode's sponsor. This episode is brought to you by AminoCo. With over 30 years of research by a world-renowned scientific team, AminoCo has determined the precise blends of amino acids needed for you to become more fit, increase your lean muscle mass, and improve your overall metabolic health. So I've tried 2 AminoCo products, Perform and Heal. Perform is an essential amino acid blend with 60 milligrams of caffeine, so it's great for a pre-workout or kind of a midday pick-me-up. 1 scoop of Perform helps me improve performance and endurance in my workouts, so whether I use that before the workout or kind of midday just because I'm feeling a little sluggish. The amino acid blend is optimized to improve muscle performance while providing mental support and energy, so just 1 scoop is enough to kind of feel the difference and get things going. Or if you need more energy, you can always add in more scoops. Say 2 to 3 are the recommended for athletes for maximum results. AminoCo's products are keto-friendly, soy-free, non-GMO, and the ingredients are 100% clean, which is something that's really awesome. It's a great pre-workout product or midday pick-me-up that tastes great. Personally, my favorite flavor is blue raspberry. I think it tastes delicious. The other product of theirs I've tried is Heal, which is a post-workout and recovery product. It's amino acid-based, just like Perform, but this one has some whey protein in it. I've tried their all-natural flavor. It's a sour apple flavor. I think it tastes really good. Heal is also 100% science-backed and originally developed for astronauts. And just like Perform, it's clinically proven to build muscle and speed recovery. It's a great product for those looking to keep their muscle mass and stay lean while keeping calories lower. Heal is also very effective for accelerating surgical and injury recovery, which are crucial for athletes, especially OCR athletes. If anyone wants to give these products a try, you can head over to aminoco.com/TSS. So aminoco.com/TSS, as in Team Strength Speed. And you can use code STRENGTH, which will give you 30% off plus a free gift. So check that out. And also keep an eye out because I'll be doing a couple of reviews on Mutter and Guide. All right, let's get back to today's episode. All right, joining me, I have as a guest Brint Hastert, who's on my team, the Conquer the Gauntlet Pro team. So Brint, welcome.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. I'm going to give you a little bit of Brint's background, and then we're going to jump into some of his training and some of his big accomplishments this year and kind of what he's got coming up in the future. So Brint's from Kansas, has over 20 podium finishes, including 2 first-place finishes at CTG and 2 second-place finishes at CTG. Finished 5th at Hyrox Dallas in the Pro Division. Recently finished 3rd at the Hyrox National Championships. And before that, you won which Hyrox was it?
Before that, I got 2nd in Dallas, the 2nd time in Dallas, and 1st in Austin.
There we go. I knew there was a couple podiums I was missing there. So it's been crushing it this year in Hyrox. And then on top of that, has been crushing it at Battle of the Lions. So you came in 3rd, I believe, at Dallas. And you
should have.
Yeah, you should have came in 2nd. I remember that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. A little confusion on how to do one of the obstacles. And then you won the Kansas City event, the strength one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Brent, welcome. And let's start at the beginning. How did you get into, what was your fitness background prior to OCR?
Well, high school, I pretty much lettered in every sport except for wrestling and baseball. I didn't like to wear hats, so that's why I didn't play baseball. But so as I got older and I left high school, I didn't do anything. I pretty much went to college like anyone else to party. And then one day I just was sitting on the couch and the Broken Skull Range came on and I was just like, I can do that. I was strong. I could run. Flew to Boston, ran one at the Fit Challenge. Forgot my jacket. It was like 80 degrees in Kansas and like 35 in Boston. And they just hooked me up. They were the nicest, like Rob McCoy, and then just the nicest ever. And after that, yeah, it pretty much was downhill there. Just snowball effect. I got into it and just started loving it. Learned something new every race.
Yeah, I remember racing. Racing against you towards a little more at the beginning of your racing career. And you got stuck at an obstacle at CTG, but you were you were burning down the field. And I was like, as soon as this guy figures out how to do all the obstacles perfectly, I was like, we're going to be in trouble. And sure enough, within a year, you had it all down, and you were basically every race you showed up after that was basically like podium. So
I think I failed every obstacle at that race. That was my first.
Nice. So what did you, speaking of that, so what did you do to correct your training so you could, because a lot of people are in that boat where they show up to a race the first time, have trouble at an obstacle, and then some of them get discouraged and never come back, and other ones like you persist and end up on top of the podium. So what did you adjust?
Well, I think just consistency is the number one thing. Like I never stopped. But it's kind of funny. My gym's upgraded obviously a little bit in the last couple of years, but at the very beginning, Michael Maraglio or something, he's got a twin brother, Dylan, but him and Hunter were both at that race. And they were just honestly super impressive. So I pretty much dissected everything they said. All I had at the beginning was a 5-gallon bucket, went to a gravel road, filled it halfway up, and then my buddy would just jog. Like, I couldn't even run a mile when I first started, but then like I just kept jogging up this hill. Next thing you know, my grip was there, my back strength, everything. And yeah, consistency. I've never really worked on obstacles. I get my grip from like weights, really.
Gotcha. Cool. So what did your training look like when you were before Hyrox came about? And then take me through like what your training looks like now with Hyrox.
I ran a little more, but I would pretty big into like 3 to 5 mile runs. I've never really been a long distance guy, but I used to focus on like a lot of pull-ups and stuff because I was like, oh, obstacles, you can do pull-ups, you should be able to conquer most of these obstacles. But then now that I kind of do, I did a lot of body weight. Like I hung from stuff, body weight. I'd go to like playgrounds like everyone else, jog, stop at a playground. But then when Hyrox came around, all of a sudden I started bringing back the deadlifts, bringing back the thruster, more CrossFit style. Like I attend a CrossFit gym, like not a whole lot, but once every other month or so. And I steal a bunch of information from them. And then I come home and I implement that and work on it. And then I go get my butt kicked at the gym again and learn something new.
Nice.
But I think CrossFit translates well. I mean, I still probably put in like, you're going to laugh, but like 15 to 20 miles a week.
Yeah. Yeah, different goals, different goals. I mean, it's working obviously because you're crushing it on the shorter distances. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, Hyrox I would consider endurance CrossFit more than I would consider it OCR. Just because it involves
that's Dylan Scott. He makes it work. I don't know how.
So take me through this year's Hyrox, right? So those first 2 events, and then take me through the first 2 events of Hyrox this year.
Well, you had Dallas right off the bat, and they had that invitational. So really, I got second there, but I ran in the very last wave by myself. So I didn't really count that. Like I'm more of like if I see him, I can stay with him guy. I can't really set a pace by myself. Mm-hmm. And so Dylan Scott won that, and I got second, but it got overshadowed because of that Elite Wave Invitational. I tried to get in it. Kind of got made fun of, honestly, this summer because I tried so hard. But took second there. I learned a lot of things. And then I kind of implemented and changed my training a little more. I mean, I started running more. I was running like, honestly, like 5 miles. And I was like, all right, that's unacceptable. And yeah, and then Austin, it just something about like just everything just started clicking. Just nice. The second half of the races were a lot stronger. I caught my second wind. And then I just keep doing that. And now my legs, I mean, just training them not to stop ever. Like if you go up a hill in a race or something like that, like and you get tired, like learning to conquer that feeling and keep your pace and go. It's way easier said than done, but it's very important.
Gotcha. So in your training now, are you incorporating like the Hyrox specific, are you doing like Hyrox specific workouts where you're like, all right, I'm going to run the distance I have to run for Hyrox, and then I'm going to do like basically a simulation, or are you just kind of working on each skill separately and then working on your running separately and then like hoping to bring it all comes together on event day?
Yeah, definitely the hope and pray. Like I'm biking a lot more right now just to like save my knees because all the weightlifting and the running, like that's tough. And so like I'm trying to run more. Like I separate them. Like if I go running, I'll come back and maybe do some push-ups or something small. But then like if I lift, I do not run on that day. I try to just completely separate them. So kind of gives my legs a break. Like I've learned that recovery is honestly like super important. Like if you're tired, you can't get better, Mm-hmm. Start losing form. And I don't know. I think that's a bad habit to do, like lose your form. It's like golf. Once you start slicing it further and further.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. And then take me through kind of your mindset running into the Nationals, right? Because obviously the Nationals is the big event. And, I don't know. Obviously, you're on our radar because you're on our team, and we know you're a beast, right? But I feel like you got overshadowed by some of the other guys going into Nationals, at least as far as like on the media side.
Definitely took note of that. But I knew I would do all right. I mean, I get nervous because, like, Victor's so fast. Rich Ryan is so fast. Cole Schwartz is a stud in his own. Like, they're all so good. Caleb Gate, and Preston Burnett tears up the DekaFit, so you really never know. I haven't raced him really ever, so I get a little nervous, especially being in the heat. I'm like, oh, please don't get dead last. But I just honestly, like, my sights are just like, all right, I got to stay with Hunter, Magida. Don't let them outrun me is my main goal. But, yeah, I knew they were overshadowing me. So in my head, though, I felt like I was top 5. I was pretty surprised with the third. Like, after the sleds, it was pretty much a 4-man race, which was relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I mean, Magida broke it down. Like, it was crazy watching him break down in front of me. I did not expect it. And the wall ball, like, I was just as shocked as him, probably, passing him on the wall balls.
Yeah, so for those who didn't see the live coverage, explain what happened and how far it was, like how close it was to the actual finish line of the race.
Well, the finish line, I mean, wall balls are obviously like 10 feet right before the last station. And then Magida and Dylan were there, and I think I heard like 33 and 44 or something like that. So I was like, all right, whatever. We'll just start going. So I went, and I got to 76, and they're like, oh, Dylan Scott's finished. So then I dropped the ball, and I knew I had a lead on fifth, sorry. And I was just kind of like ready to pout because I was thinking Magida was at like 95, and then I picked it right back up. I should have just went unbroken if I was tough enough.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started going again, I was like 78, 79. And I hollered at the judge. I'm like, hey, how far is he? And they go, Magida at 75 over the loudspeaker. I was just like, holy shit. So, yeah, it was a good feeling. I like kind of being underestimated, especially on the big show. I just like racing the big dogs.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it was super excited. That was Dave Indian Mud Run, so I wasn't watching live, but I came back after spending all day doing the multi-lap of Indian Mud Run, and I got a bunch of awesome.
There was 85 obstacles, that's all.
Yeah, 85 obstacles, it was about 7.1, 7.2-ish miles per lap with a lot of technical elevation. So it, it was taking about 2 hours. Once we started to get like laps 2 and 3, it took like over 2 hours. It was, and granted, we weren't racing, so we were taking our time. But
it looked like the year.
Say again.
I said it looked like the race of the year.
Yeah, it was an awesome event. So obviously Sydney Morris and David Mainprize were there building some of the obstacles, which I think steps some things up a little bit. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. And it was kind of like a mini OCRWC, mini NORAM type thing because, all the age groups race in their own brackets. So if you're competing for age group, you know exactly where you stand in the middle of the race.
I like that. I always hate when age group gets separated and they race like an hour apart. I'm just like, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. All right, let's talk a little bit about Battle of the Lions. So take me through some of Dallas's race and what some of your impressions were as racing Battle of the Lions, a new series.
Well, first off, it is fun. It's definitely different, like the Stairway to Heaven 2 or whatever they call it. I like those obstacles where you're like, oh man, am I going to get through this? And they're low rig in Kansas City, but Dallas, I was just like, all right, stay with Victor right behind him. And I did pretty good most of the race. And then there was this spot through the trees where, he just ripped through like those green thorny vines, got all cut up. And it was the most impressive thing. Like I could hear the vines rip. So I kind of slowed down and then I just lost him. And I could never catch back up until the last obstacle. Like he was on it. I did it wrong like 2 or 3 times. And then that Van Tran just came like a spider through there. I was just like, dang it.
Yeah, so for those who weren't there, it was Stairway to Heaven 2.0, and then right after that was Complector, so their signature obstacle. It was basically a weaver into a low rig back into a weaver. And if I remember correctly, you ran across it like it was Elephant Graveyard from Conquer the Gauntlet.
Yeah,
is that
that's
right?
what I was thinking. Yeah, I was just like, oh, easy.
That's really funny.
And then I put under, and I just started hopping up and down on the ground.
Yeah, like doing yeah, like their big hurdles type thing. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
In their defense, I never read the rules anyways, so it's a good way to get me snagged up. Put something tricky in there.
Yeah, it's I find that when I first started racing, I used to be like very meticulous and read all the rules and make sure I got everything down. And then the more I race this, the more I'm like, yeah, I've raced enough times, I know what's going on. And it occasionally bites me in the butt. So is it worth spending a little more time reading through the rules? I mean, I think the smart answer is yes. Am I going to adjust my behavior? We'll see. Depends on the race, I guess.
I just invested in Lucas Fawnensteel. So normally on the car ride there, he like has everything mapped out to a T, and he's just telling me, and I'm like, I didn't know that. Nice. Yeah. He knows all the rules and stuff.
Yeah, for Battle of the Lions, I know the week leading up to the race, they were posting a bunch of videos in the Battle of the Lions Facebook group. So if anyone's listening and is not in that and is headed to a Battle of the Lions, I would definitely jump in there. I think most of the obstacles, I'd say the obstacles are pretty self-explanatory, minus the occasional thing like Complector, right?
Yeah.
And really, that's only because the beginning of it kind of resembles the Conquer the Gauntlet's Elephant Graveyard, which you essentially run across and then traverse a pipe and then run across the top of pipes on the way down. So I could see, after someone explained to me what you did, I was like, oh, I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, so you did well there, third, and then showed up to Kansas City, hometown, or now hometown, and take me through the strength course.
You hear me?
Yep, I got you. Yep, I got you. Take me through the strength course.
Well, they started out with that quarter-mile bucket carry. All right, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Well, they started off with that like quarter-mile bucket carry or something. And so that was really played into my favor. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Keep going.
So, I just kind of took off with that bucket. I was like, well, I'm just going to push these and see what they're quite made of, see if they got the sauce. And I honestly came out of the bucket with a pretty significant lead that allowed me to I get to catch my breath at the obstacles kind of, because it takes a lot more energy out of me, I think, because I'm 200 pounds and stuff. I'm probably not the best technique in the world. But Van got pretty close on that low rig again. He went through there super fast. But, yeah, I just had like a 2-minute lead on him or something. So it allows me to take my time, sit on top, catch my breath. And I need that. Gotcha. But, yeah, their courses, I like how their rigs, they have Force 5 grips on a stairway form. Mm-hmm. But, I enjoy, I enjoy the pipes and, the quality of it. It's kind of like a more difficult Spartan with the quality,
Yeah, the Force 5 grips are super nice.
Yeah, no, their rigs, they're probably my favorite rigs, and they're challenging.
Yeah, and at the Kansas City event, like you said, it was, instead of Valkyrie with the rings, it was Valkyrie with the Force 5 holds. So it was T-bar to D-ring to ropes to, I don't remember what the exact layout was, but, varying holds going up and down.
Yeah, anyone that enjoys OCR, those races are definitely worth attending. They kind of got everything you're looking for. Quality rigs. You got your walls. You got your up and unders. Your carries.
What was your thoughts on the comparison of the grip course compared to the strength course? So Dallas versus Kansas City. Any kind of thoughts on the what was different / similar type thing?
Well, Kansas City redlined you a lot more. I remember that they had a tire. It was like a semi-tire. and it wasn't a very big hill, but it was kind of steep. And I remember that being significantly harder. Like, I thought Kansas City redline, like, maxed your heart rate out a lot more than Dallas did. I didn't think Dallas was as grip intensive as they sold it to be.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the bucket carry. Like, I like at the beginning of races when they do things to kind of separate, eliminate bottlenecking at the obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably my favorite part about Kansas City. But, I mean, they did that in Dallas with the cinder block carries, so. But the venue was probably better, way better view in Kansas City.
I really liked how you could tell it was, I mean, you could tell it was by the same guys, but it almost felt like two different courses to me, right? Like two, it didn't feel like, all right, this is the same race, but now we're in a different city. Like, it legitimately felt like a different race with still a lot of the same flavor, right? So, you could tell a lot of the obstacles had the same design construction, a lot of Force 5 grips on there and stuff like that. But, I mean, I know the Kansas City course, I felt like I was doing obstacles pretty much nonstop. You know, it was like occasionally there'd be like a short area where you could open up the legs, and then it would be like, here's another carry, here's another, the twist on life, the new kind of that rolling one. Here's a sledgehammer hit. Here's a, tire flip. Here's a tire drag. Here's, it was just like boom, 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 all the way to the end.
Well, and my fiance and my son don't come to my races very often. So, like, in Kansas City, like, I know they kind of did in Dallas, but in Kansas City, like, they truly had, like, a festival area where you came in and out of, like, 2 or 3 times with obstacles. So it was nice that, like, she didn't have to walk around with him to watch all my events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, all the obstacles, not just me running in a field.
That's my wife's comment. Every time I take my wife to a race, which is almost most races, her comments are always, one, if the course loops back through the festival so they can actually see something. And then the other one is she always wants a course map. Those are her two complaints or slash pieces of information.
Get her golf cart.
Yeah, definitely.
I would do that at camera. I do wish the people that do the live feed, I wish Sid would keep them on the golf cart with him. That was one thing I would critique about the race probably. Like the live feed, I would have that girl on the golf cart so she can move faster.
That's a good idea. I like that. All right, so what do you got coming up for the, you crushed the Hyrox Nationals here. What else you got coming up for the rest of 2021?
Well, I think Grit Games registration closed. I considered it so far away and everything. But after that, I'm coming after all of you guys in your endurance event.
Nice.
We'll see how that goes. I like to just get a lead and try to hold on, hope for the best. And after Battle of the Lions, what's that called? Imperium?
I get them all confused. The endurance one we're talking?
Yeah.
Perpetuum is the endurance one.
Perpetuum. So that's in Oklahoma City on August 7th. The following weekend, I'm pretty excited to race Ryan Kent in Dallas and whoever else is there. At Hyrox, that's a Hyrox.
Okay.
And then I don't know the exact dates. I'll probably finish out the BOTL series, the Battle of the Lions series. I forget what the fourth one is and when it is. Hopefully it doesn't interfere.
It's the standard. It's the it's just like the generic OCR one, so you get a little bit of everything in there, and that's in Little Rock, I believe.
Little Rock. Well, if that one falls into line with the schedule, I'll do that. But there's a new team race in Hyrox that's going down in Madison, Wisconsin. So Dylan Scott, myself, Morgan Schultz, and Callie. I'm gonna butcher
Schweikart. Yeah, Schweikart.
We're gonna team up and do that.
Oh, that's a great team. I'm excited.
It's gonna be tough. And then after that, I'm gonna probably go to Boston on October 21st and try to break the doubles world record with Dylan.
Nice.
And at the same time, those girls are going to try to break the women's world record. So we were just talking, like, how sweet would it be to dominate 2 relays in a row?
Yeah.
But other than that, there'd probably do the hometown rugged maniac. I got some guys from work that are all gung-ho about doing a race with me, and I was just like, probably swing it.
Nice.
But yeah, some will pop up, some small ones.
Good stuff.
But it's kind of how I approach my OCR. I'm just like, that week of, I'm just like, let's do it.
Any interest in doing DekaFit? And if not, why?
Not a whole lot, honestly. I tried to do the AT&T Stadium one. Like, I don't qualify as an elite runner.
What?
I don't know. Whatever. Like, to sign up for their elite race, like, I couldn't get in the elite wave.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I asked Yancey. I figured, oh, well, if someone can do it, Yancey can do it. I don't know. He just said something about some form, some application, and I'm just like, my goodness, this is complicated. And so I'm kind of over the Spartan unless they, like, wave me into the elite wave or something.
Yeah,
But
I can see that. And with your finish at Hyrox, I would assume if they were being difficult before, they would be less difficult now. But who knows? You know?
Yeah, definitely. Who knows? I mean, I love the stadium races. But DekaFit, not really. I mean, if I ran into a Deka Strong and I happened to be in town or something on a free day, or like got an entry or something, you know, like an invite, I would probably attend.
Gotcha.
But I'll let guys like Nick Riker and stuff keep winning that, make them feel good.
Sounds good. Quick reminder that this episode is brought to you by AminoCo. You can find their patented products at aminoco.com/TSS, and you get 30% off with the code STRENGTH. One of the things I really like about AminoCo is all their products have been proven through actual clinical trials, so you know you're getting the best and you know it works. It's pretty crazy to see how much scientific data there is backing up these products. AminoCo uses a precise combination of essential amino acids in their products, which are proven compounds with many years of scientific data backing up their effectiveness. Perform's a great pre-workout product, which helps improve strength, focus, and endurance. And Heal's a great post-workout product for those that want to recover faster but keep their slim physique or racing weight. You get a lot of the same benefits of recovery as you would with something like whey protein, but at a much lower caloric cost. In clinical trials, Heal was shown to be 4 times as effective as whey protein at triggering muscle repair. So you know it's good stuff. Make sure you check them out. I recommend Blue Raspberry as my favorite flavor of Perform. Again, you can check out their products at aminoco.com/TSS and get 30% off with the code STRENGTH plus a free gift for new users. All right, let's get back to today's episode. Any interest in going to OCR or WC, or too far of a trip?
Kind of. Kind of sounds fun. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably do the longer course if I went. That's in Stratton, right?
Yep. The end of September, I'm going to say.
Yeah. That's possible. I mean, if Hyrox would fly me over to Germany, I'd go do World Hyrox on September 11th. That's what I really would like to do, but flights to Germany are out the roof right now.
Oh, they're really? Yeah. That's I haven't even looked at international flights just because.
No, don't do it.
And that's what I've heard several people say that where like international flights are through the roof right now. It's like okay, so maybe I'll wait for some of my international adventures.
Be a blast.
Yeah, OCRWC is September 24th through 26th that weekend.
Well, if I don't get an invite and I flew out to Worlds at Hyrox, then I would probably definitely consider that because I've always wanted to go. Everyone says it's like the best.
Yeah. You do well there, too. It's speed and obstacle technicality. I think you do really well. So, and then Battle of the Lions, for anyone that was listening, I'm tracking October 9th, Little Rock, and that's their standard course. But
yeah, I should be free. I'll probably end up going to that. Then pretty good practice before the 21st.
Lots of great stuff coming from Battle of the Lions. I know they're working some other stuff that is going to be pretty big for next year. And if you've been following Sydney Morris on Facebook, you'll see he's basically like going around to all of the kind of local brands. So he's at Indian Mud Run. I think he's going to be at Nightmare Challenge. So those 2 races in Ohio. So he's kind of traveling around, going to all these races and helping them build and helping them course design and some stuff like that. So definitely.
I'm offended. Offer me a Sharks, by the way.
Say again?
He turned Sharks loose. I was just like,
oh, did he really?
Yeah, he said he gave him away. Didn't have time or something. And he turned him. I don't know who he gave him to. It was some nice tank, though. I'm sure an aquarium of some sort.
All right. So we covered your 2021. We covered some of your background. Beyond 2021, any like major bucket list races or goals that you kind of have set right now, or are you just kind of taking things as they come?
Mainly I don't really think much about race. I mean, I really want to win a fit challenge. That's an obstacle course race. I told you, like, you'd enjoy the endurance one out there.
Yeah,
I really want, like,
that's been on my bucket list for years. That and Indian Mud Run. I finally made Indian Mud Run work this year, so I'll have to make Fit Challenge work next year.
Yeah, we'll have to knock that down. I'll have to ask Rob when that is, because that's like my first race. I want to win it. But Ryan Kempson shows up to that one every year, so I might have to Nancy Kerrigan him or something. I don't know. But that's been a goal of mine forever, like to win the very first race I did. Other than that, I pretty much focus on like just myself, on working out. I'm just like, all right, like I'm 203 pounds. Like, let's try to get to 193 someday. Try to like take the load off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Be just as strong, 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
So that'll be my goal. And triathlons kind of sound fun. I think a couple endurances would be fun too. Like trail endurances, like in the mountains or something, some sort of 8-hour race.
Nice. So
I don't know why.
Jumping back in time, just because I'm very curious, how did you find Fit Challenge? Because, I mean, it's not most people's first race is like, oh, I did a Warrior Dash, I did a Rugged Maniac. But Fit Challenge is kind of like it's like an OCRS. It's like very OCR, right? Like I feel like you need to be in the community and to like know people to find that race.
Well, that's funny. So like I said, I used to like to party. So like I was watching that Broken Skull and I was talking shit to my friends and I'm like, I found Hunter on Facebook and I just PM'd him just like, you're a pussy. I'll beat you. And he said, I'm racing in 2 weeks at Fit Challenge. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Me and my buddy flew out there, got just absolutely destroyed. It was at Hill Park, like hills, carries, obstacles, you name it. It wrecked me. I got destroyed. Super humbling. But that's how I found it. I honestly had no idea about any races ever. I barely knew what OCR was.
That's so funny. That's so funny. That's such a good story too.
Yeah, no, but it definitely did. Like, I mean, I was definitely not going down the best path in the world. Fast food for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And yeah, there's beers in between. Gotcha. It's not a healthy lifestyle.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, not that part's not cool, but the change you've made is cool. How have you found kind of sustaining more of a positive, healthy, and fitness-focused lifestyle? Like any kind of tips or secrets you have that or things that specifically works for you that you think you can share with someone else who might be in like a similar situation or might be behaving in a similar manner?
Honestly, you got to find, like, I don't feel like working out half the time, which is like a lot of times I got to make myself, but I find that if you find something that fuels you and you can feed off, something that you can feed off of to drive you, like, okay, so I don't want to run 3 miles, but you know what I really don't want to do? I don't want to lose this race on Saturday. Like, I don't know why. I kind of put that pressure on me, and then I talk some shit on the internet, and then I start getting anxiety before the race is like 2 days. I start being like, oh, man, I hope you can back it up. But I feed off that anxiety, I think. I don't know why. But so, like, whatever your goal is, like, people have different goals. You could be like, oh, I just want to run 45 minutes, battle the Lions or something. So you just got to be like, all right, I'm at 52. I don't want to get up. I don't want to eat that cookie or something. You just got to do it and then not eat it if you want to reach your goal. And I think it's pretty simple. It's pretty black and white, in my opinion. You either do it, be a doer, not a don'ter.
I like it. Yes, I feel the same way. Like there's a lot of days where it's not like, I don't want to go run for a long time right now. That does not sound fun. But like you said, it's like, well, I'd rather run for a long time today and win in a couple of weeks than not run right now and lose or, be out of shape or something like that. So
yeah, whether it's a relay, age group, anything, standing on the podium is a good feeling, especially whatever. It's a good feeling to be up there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that. Good stuff. I can definitely relate to a lot of that. All right, I think we're going to start wrapping things up. Before we get going, tell us something people would be surprised to know about you.
Probably that at my house I'm like a chicken farmer. I've got like 75 to 100 chickens.
Damn.
that's probably like what I do on my free time. Like sometimes I'll just catch myself outside drinking coffee, staring at chickens for like 2 hours. I'm like, I don't know why. I find them fascinating.
Are you primarily using the eggs or then and eating them, or what's the?
Well, I'm like a level 2 chicken farmer. I just figured out how to keep them alive
Good.
for their whole life from coyotes and raccoons.
Okay.
So now that I've got them safe, my pen's upgraded, the next step is to start buying, like, there's a different kind of chicken, like the ones that grow like 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
The next to have like a summer, like buy like 40 of those and then have a big old butcher fest one day. I don't even know how to clean a chicken, to be honest, but I'm going to learn.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
So,
that's probably.
Randy Lackey on our team, I don't know if you know this, used to have several chickens. I don't know if she still has them. I know she moved recently, so I'm guessing she got rid of her chickens. But they all had ridiculous names, like Jennifer Henniston or something like that, and they're all like celebrity names, but with the word like hen or chicken somehow mixed in there. Do you give names to them, or are they just
They're all named Chicken. Name my dog Chicken.
Got it.
Keep it simple.
So for mine to relate to that, when I was training for bodybuilding, I essentially would eat chicken like every 2 or 3 hours. I'd eat like a chicken breast like all day. So I'd be at work and I'd have these plastic bags just with cooked chicken breast in them. And we'd be in like meetings, and I would take out a chicken breast and just start like eating in the middle of the meeting, just complete disregard for whatever else is going on. So for a couple of the exercises, my call sign was a bag of chicken. It was like on my we were using an app to message each other back and forth. So
I know I saw a picture of you bodybuilding. I was kind of laughing. I never knew you did that. I bet what's hard, OCR endurance events, or the discipline of doing that bodybuilding. Like that takes more discipline. Like, I mean, in OCR, you burn so many calories. Like, honestly, I just eat cheeseburgers, pizza, anything, and I'm a furnace. But in bodybuilding, I don't know anything about it. So what's harder?
So they're different hard. Bodybuilding is harder in the fact that it is 24 hours a day. Like, to be a bodybuilder, you have to be bodybuilding 24 hours a day. And, you know, the hour or maybe 2 you spend in the gym is the easy part because that's fun. And you typically have a little bit of carbs before you go to the gym, so you're in a good mood. And then the rest of the day is like persistent misery because you're essentially hungry all day. And you're typically on lower carbs. The one thing I'll say is it's a lot easier to control your diet than it is when doing OCR, because when I'm doing OCR, like you said, I'm burning so many calories, it's upregulating my desire for food. Versus if I stop running, I can control what I eat a lot easier than when I am running, because when I'm running, I'm hungry all the time, right? Like, and you eat a full plate of healthy food, and then I'm like, I need more calories. I'm still hungry.
Well, that brings me back around to like advice to people. Like, I've tried keto for 2 hours. I thought about going vegetarian for 30 minutes. And I mean, I've just found that, dude, I like cheeseburgers. Like, I like bacon in the morning. Like, I like that. I live on carbs and just live on it. Pop-Tarts, whatever. Like, I just eat to enjoy. I think a lot of people burn themselves out because they, chicken, rice, broccoli, no flavor. Let's eat it. I'm just like, that sounds so terrible.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And then I think you lose the enjoyment. And then those workouts that you don't want to do are twice as hard to do. Because you have no carbs. Like, I inhale like 300 grams of carbs a day.
Yeah. I mean, and now that I'm doing endurance obstacle course racing, I definitely have more body fat, but I'm also burning a lot more calories, and I'm also eating a lot less clean. But I know, like, what I like from bodybuilding is I know what quote unquote perfect looks like to get like the leanest physique possible. And I know the commitment it takes to get that lean, right? So I can take the same mindset on commitment and focus and apply it to obstacle course racing with a looser diet that's more fun, especially for my wife, because, you know, when it's like, oh, let's go out to eat dinner, and you're like, cool, I'm gonna bring a bag of chicken with me and and just eat that. She's like, this is terrible, let's not go out. And I was like, okay.
Have you ever found you perform a little better, like, quote, like feeling pudgy? Like, sometimes, like, I'm like, oh, I'm a little self-conscious, and I'm like, oh, I'm pretty pudgy this race. But then like a lot of those races, it's just carbs and water. And like when I actually get out on the course, I'm just like, holy smokes. I usually gain like 4 or 5 pounds like 2 days before the race.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So, I mean, when your body stores carbohydrates, it also stores water. So, right. So when the carbohydrates go into your muscles, glycogen, it's stored. So you should actually probably put on I don't know what the exact number is, 2 pounds or whatever, before a race. Especially if it's a longer race, is it means your body's storing that glycogen. Do I personally feel faster? I don't know.
Smoother, more relaxed. Sometimes like I don't get as tired. I don't know, maybe not faster, but I feel better.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel I feel better when my carbs are full. And I can like, what's interesting is when I start carbing up, I can feel it in my cheeks. Like my cheeks feel fuller, versus when I'm doing a lot of running and not eating enough carbs, my cheeks feel slimmer to me. It's a very interesting feeling. And I don't look different, but I can feel it on my face. Like when I smile, I can feel like my cheeks feel fuller. I don't know how else to describe it. So kind of a random thing.
You coming for the podium at the next Conquer the Gauntlet, Battle of the Lions, the endurance one?
I mean, yeah, that's the plan. My plan is always to get on the podium. It doesn't always pan out that way.
Well, I always laugh when we went at it the first time. Like I had such a lead on you, and then I just slowly, like every lap, lost like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then like the last lap we started at the same time. I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
So that was a good race. Yeah, that was what was it? Oklahoma City Conquer the Gauntlet Continuum, was it?
Yeah, I tried so hard. I walked up hills, but like the jumping was starting to take a toll on me, and you were just cucumbering, cool as a cucumber right by me, and I'm just like, oh God, here we go. I'm done.
To give you credit, I had to push pretty hard to move past you. I was pushing. I was not enjoying having to run you down. And I was worried that last lap. I was like, oh, jeez. I was like,
you ended up like 20 minutes, I think, on the last lap.
Yeah, we were going over a wall, and you cramped and basically fell off the wall. It was a big, great wall, and I passed you. And as soon as I passed you, I just put down the hammer as hard as I could for the next like mile. And then I was like, all right, that's it. I can't see him anymore. So,
never saw you again.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Like you said, it's easier to stay with you when you can see someone. And I was like, I just need to take a couple of corners and get ahead of him, and I should be able to keep him off. But
you got any predictions coming up on here? Who are we watching out for?
It's hard because this is an endurance event, but it's 15 miles, so it's not necessarily a 6 hour or 8 hour. So I don't think it necessarily plays as much to my advantage as I would like. I don't know. It really depends on who shows up that day. So there's not that many like 15-mile OCRs that are not mountain courses. Tough Mudder has a 10-mile course. So I don't know. I think we'll see some of the guys who are normally short course guys, still being up in the top, top 3, top 5. So it may not be. I know people are like, oh, well, this is the all endurance. I think you'll get a lot more short course guys up there than we were initially. Some people.
I think the obstacles, the 3 laps of the 30 obstacles, will probably take a toll on people more than the actual running.
I'd agree
with
that.
Those guys are kind of crazy. Like they don't really think about others' feelings very much. Like if they want to put something difficult, they just do it, and they're like, deal with it.
Yeah. And that's what I love about smaller brands, where there's like, it's like almost no rules. You're just like, yeah, we're just going to put this on the course because we were building and we thought it was a good idea. So we did it. And you're like,
yeah, I thought Jenny was going to, speaking of good courses, I've never done a Savage. And I seen Jenny was going to Chicago on the 23rd. I was going to be like, Jenny, you should let me bum a ride up with you. I'll buy pizza.
Yeah.
And go, I've never done one, but like I hear nothing but awesome things. Their videos look cool.
Yeah, their events are great. I've only been to one. I'd like to get to more, but it's usually not super close. So
nothing is in Canada.
Yeah, it's kind of a big trip, and we've been kind of the longer I've been racing, the more I've been like, all right, well, I'm going to take my big trips for really major events for me, like toughest Mudder type stuff, and then I'll travel shorter for the shorter ones. So
that's kind of how the more I do it, the more I'm a little more picky about, like, I want the juice to be worth the squeeze on the events I go to.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, you should message her. I'm sure she'd be down. Most of us are always looking for company there.
Who's not? Yeah, it's terrible going on like 8-hour rides by yourself. Sometimes you're just like, oh God.
Yeah. All right, let's actually start wrapping it up. What any shout outs you want to give? Friends, family, sponsors, etc.
Well, love my UFUs and my high leap bag. High leap bag, game changer. Putting the shoes in the bottom, I didn't even know that was a thing. It must be like totally 2020. But no, I mean,
Did you get the 6-in-1 or did you get the day pack one? Which one did you get?
For what, high leap?
Yeah.
The backpack, I got like the big 80-gallon, 40-gallon one, like the biggest one you can get.
Okay, yeah, that's the 6-in-1. It's the where like you can zip off the backside.
Yeah, and like coolers on the sides and stuff.
So
like
good. That backpack's the bomb. I love it.
That's what I race in all my like best shorts. I never even wore high leap. Lucas wears them all the time. But no, the only shout outs, I mean, I got Joe Douglas, Dylan Young, Sharky Slider, and Lucas Fawn and Steel. Like, I work out with those guys. Like, if one of them's being lazy or I'm being lazy, like, they're all like a pain in the ass, honestly. Like, they usually are just always annoying me. Like, let's do this. And I'm just like, oh my God, just stop calling me. I'll meet you there. But yeah, those guys, like, honestly, like, I'm a pretty undisciplined person, kind of, not really. I'm self-critic, but they all do very well in keeping me and my wild card self, my in line, keeps me on track. And that's probably honestly like a big reason. And Adrienne, my fiance, she watches the kids all the time so I can do this. That's the biggest. She watches my 3-year-old all the time. She's incredible.
Well, sounds like you got a great support system backing you up there, which is super important. And it's showing in your race results. So good work all around there.
You guys are lucky. Maybe joining your guys' team was lucky. Like, good things have happened last year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, you scored enough results where it was a no-brainer to put you on the team. So,
well, it's just been uphill from there. Like, I think maybe the backpack, maybe the shorts. I don't know. Something good's going down though.
Yeah, we get a lot of good perks from our supporting sponsors. So we try to
amazing.
We try to say thank you to them whenever we can. All right, we're gonna get going. Let's see, news. New articles are up on OCR World Championships websites that I wrote. So one of them is about, if you're going to OCR RBC, which races should you attend? And the answer is not always all of them, but it often kind of leads in that direction. But it gives you some good justification on like why you should do this one or that one, depending on your goals and what you're going there for. A bunch of new articles on Mud Run Guide. Let's see, there's a Frontline OCR review. There is a Rugged Maniac review that's going up there. There is a Rugged Maniac X review, so their multi-lap option. There's a Rugged Maniac VIP review, so their VIP experience. And there's a new article up there about Mud Gear called Mud Gear In It for the Long Haul. Just kind of highlights how Mud Gear has been here for years and is not like one of those brands. Like we've seen, Reebok come and go. We've seen Merrell come and go. We've seen all these big brands kind of dip their toe in the OCR pool and try to like get as much profit as they can and then bounce out. It's just kind of highlighting that how Mud Gear is kind of stuck with our sport and just kind of giving them some love, and also has a link to Bobby Ross's Made Tougher video. So definitely go over to Mud Run Guide and check that out. Then I published a whole bunch of new articles on Team Strength Speed. So head over to the blog section there. And I keep forgetting to share them to Facebook. I need to do that. And other than that, Blood Mitts are in stock, Extreme and Lights. And all my books are in stock at teamstrengthspeed.com. You guys can head over and order them. Or most of them are available on digital on Amazon. You can also order them off there. So, and my biography, Ultra OCR Man from Special Force Soldier to Record Setting Obstacle Course Racer, is also available on Audible. So always busy, always got a lot of things in the works. All right. Anything else, Brent, to add before we go?
Just that you still owe me a 10-mile run that you've never hit me up for. I need
I'm the worst.
I need one 10-mile run at least.
Well, I live about 2 hours away now. I moved about 2 weeks ago.
Holy smokes. Well, next time you're down at like ROKC or something. I mean, you'll probably be down there before the race, maybe once.
I'll be down. Actually, I'll be in Kansas City July 10th.
All right. Well, maybe we can make it work that weekend or day, whatever it is.
All right. I'll hit you up. All right. Thanks
Take
again,
care.
Brent, for coming on, and we'll catch all you guys later. Thanks for listening. Please like, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right. We'll talk to you later.